Welcome to another episode of Take Plays Casual Games. Tonight's episode is Bomont Su Maire and City Skylines on my handy dandy M1. For those of you who were watching earlier, yes, we're just going to start over. We're going to pretend it didn't happen. We're not even going to mention that we had a bork. So, welcome to Bomont Su Maire. Nice, thriving little city. Right now we're at 9,000 people. About roughly the size of my dad's hometown. Let's see, everyone's just complaining about customers. Well, we can't get customers and goods because we've got this borked interchange. So let's go ahead and get that fixed. So we're going to go ahead and pause. And we know we're going to have problems. So let's go ahead and get started there. Grab a 3-lane highway as the game zooms in for us. Perfect. I don't think I've had it do that in a long time. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a 3-lane with sound barrier, which is only available in vanilla. So we'll grab that here. There we go, grid vanilla. Upgrade. Boom. Walkway gone, but that was to be expected. The same thing over here. All right. And then I want to make sure we get some traffic alignments and stuff taken care of. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab that one to that one. Boom. That's what we're talking about. And we're going to grab that one. And we're going to go from that one to that one. Oh, no, 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 cancel. Okay. Right click. No, yes, yes. There we go. That's better. Perfect, actually. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace our paths. So let's get that going. Excellent. This is where we... Oh, right, we're not talking about that. All right, so the game's going to complain because... You can't build here. There's already road. Uh-huh, I can build here. Watch. I said, watch. There we go. Anarchy. Such a handy thing to have. I know part of the reason why a lot of games like these have the limitations they do. A lot of it just comes down to, well, it's never been that way in my country. Or it can also be, but why would you want to do that? Not realizing, of course, that some of us actually want to like remake things that already exist. I mean, they may exist badly, but we still want to remake them. Maybe hope to improve them. All right, so we've got a population of 9,300. 92 people are expected this month. Let's see. So this roadway here, do I have names turned on? I do not. Okay, so this roadway here with the trees, this is probably going to end up being a new connection to the freeway. In fact, I will probably do something interesting like this road and this road will both go under the freeway and there'll be some sort of combined interchange. I kind of like the idea of an off-ramp from here to there and then back on with a ramp from here on and then going the other direction, the opposite. So there'll be a full interchange with this street and there'll be a partial interchange with this street. I mean, if I wanted to be mean, I would make it Chicagoan and just have one is only, you can only get off of this street. You can't ever get on it. Or you can only go east from here. But I want to go west. Yeah, you're going to have to go 5 miles that way, make a U-turn, and then you might be able to do it. All right, so we're all set there. So as you can see, we've got this rail line down here to the south. We will probably end up capturing that square of land and running the trains into kind of a station in this area here south of the freeway, which as you can see is very treaty, which means we'll probably end up using it for forest industry. And of course this interchange will not continue to be a T for too much longer, because as we move south we are going to need to connect that, and we'll have to make the decision at that point, are we going to make it a full freeway on this side, or are we going to continue Michigan Expressway, or are we going to just run it straight through and then over to here and bypass some of the other traffic issues with this kind of interconnected T? Might we just remove this freeway entirely and just have this one way to get onto the island, at least for the commercial traffic, and maybe connect these two somewhere down here? We'll see how it goes, see how adventurous I want to be. But let's see, right now we're in a, I won't say a crisis situation, but this area here, which I was originally going to turn into commercial, we really need to get some more residences in here. And we do need to do a little subplanting. So let's go ahead and start that process. So one of the things you can do is you can right click to dezone. You don't actually have to select the dezone tool. One of the things I miss from at least SimCity 2000, if I recall correctly, is the ability to just upgrade a zone. But to be fair, they also had 3 levels: small, medium, or light, medium, and heavy. So yeah, I can't just highlight an existing zone and upgrade it. One of the things I've learned actually doing like real zone and planning stuff is cities often will upzone an area and not require anything to change. So, for example, you've got a neighborhood that's just on the cusp of the business district. They might decide, okay, well, let's upgrade this, or let's upzone this to, I don't know, let's call it neighborhood business. And anybody who's currently there is more than welcome to stay as it is. But anything new or any new use has to adhere. And then you put on some rules that allow for some residences, but they're going to have to be something different, like duplexes or multifamily of some sort. Or they have to convert the homes into business fronts. Those sorts of things. One of those things we actually deal with quite frequently. One of those things that some cities use to slowly force out people that either the people in the adjacent community or adjacent neighborhood feel are undesirables, or people from far-flung places of the city decide are undesirables. One of the drawbacks with modern planning, at least in the States, is everybody and their dog can have an opinion. And it's not always a constructive opinion. And I know that may sound mean, but the person four towns away really shouldn't have any input in how this other town is deciding they want to zone things or how many houses they should build in a development. That's not their concern under any circumstance. Especially when most of the U.S. were in a housing crisis, largely due to all the crud in the banks that happened from the Great Recession of 2008. So, I'll get off my soapbox. I mean, it's a tall soapbox, so it's going to take a few minutes. All right, so we can't actually do on-water power. Ooh, wait, we're running low on power, but let's see. Is it because we're actually out of power, or is it because we're out of money? Because I can always just upgrade the money. Budget, power, max it out. Let's do it. 150. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to try to squeeze in an additional stream this week, largely because I don't think I'll be doing one on Father's Day / Juneteenth. Just, lots of other things for people to be doing than spending time watching me playing silly games. And knowing my luck, I'll probably end up being at my parents' or my fiance's parents for the day and after work and go from there. Probably spend all day and might even go to the movies. All right, let's see what we have here. 2 units. We want a road. Actually, no, we're going to, because we've got some bike infrastructure already, I'm going to actually fix an oversight I made last time. Bike lane, please. And do I have a 2x1 bike lane? 2x1 with bike lane, I should say. I do. Hello. Hello, my friend. Let's see here. And I want to reverse that. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll reverse it and go this way. I do want to make sure we're on the ground. This game has a really bad habit of putting bridges in places you don't really want them, which then means you can't zone along them. I mean, I love you, Colossal Order and Paradox, but sometimes I just the decisions made by the automated code, by the AI, for lack of a better term, just are mind-boggling. Like, yes, I had it high before. Do I really still want it high? No, not in the slightest. It'd be nice if there was some sort of keystroke I could just push that would change it automatically to a different, to just following the terrain or just not bothering to even think about it. All right, there's our after dark bike lanes. Let's get them down. Perfect. And this won't really be a big deal because we're going to put in our pedestrian roads, which are going to be 2U. And I'm trying to think of it at the beginning of the end. I think they're at the end. Nope. They're halfway in between. Where are they? Come on. Well, there's those pedestrian roads. In fact, I like that. Let's go put one of those in here just for fun. Give ourselves a little bit of serendipity. And we'll run it all the way through, because why not? Oop, that's not what I wanted you to do. Let's try that again. Perfect. So we have this one way. Just change that to brick. Hey, commercial property's happy. That's good. Excellent. Let's upgrade our speed, because running at 1x is just painfully slow sometimes. Let's go ahead and grab a park, because we do need to make sure we keep parks up and running here. And we're going to go back to regular parks. And we'll use my park, again, one of them. In fact, I'm probably going to use my 9x3. Let's see. Or no, because I've got the 3x9, and I've got the 5x9. Let's go ahead and use the 5x9 here with parking. Let's get them. So one of the things that happened when we did the parks update is it appears that the parks no longer snap to the grid correctly. So as a result, you have to do your best guess. I'm kind of a stickler for right angles and things like that, as you can probably tell. So we'll see how this works. And yes, I know I put 2 parks right next to each other, but there's method to my madness. Let's go ahead. I want the walking trails. I want my park life walking trails. I want my height set to 0. There we go. So there is one thing I found, and that is just pressing home will get it back to 0, but I so often forget. And to be fair, I only discovered that about 6 weeks ago on a Biffa stream. So Yeah, which if you aren't watching Biffa, I would highly recommend you do. Um, I will say he infuriates me sometimes with his decisions on how he builds his city, but again, it's his city, not mine. I can go ahead and do whatever I want with mine. He can go ahead and do whatever he wants with his. Um, his city of New Land, great set of videos, and I've actually spent the time of taking the same map and doing my own thing, just to kind of see what sort of differences we can come up with. I think I've got about 3 times the population he does, but I also build density. I try my best not to do sprawl, and even then I still get sprawl, largely because of how inefficient industry is, especially in this game. But it's always a thing in a lot of these games, a lot of these city simulators. They never accurately or adequately account for how many people are actually involved in operating a business, especially an industrial business. So there'll be like 15 people for an industrial building. Like, no, no, that should be 100. Uh, so at least in SimCity 4, there was the community actually built a plugin that will quadruple the efficiency of the industry, and you literally cannot play that game without it. Otherwise, your city's like 70% industry, which I mean, not realistic in the slightest, of course. Now, how did this happen? We've got some gaps in the network that there shouldn't be, but that's neither here nor there. We'll take care of it at some point. Let's go ahead and get these built. Perfect. Let's get water checked. All right, water's checked. All right, we're at $8,300, so it's not too bad, I guess. There we go. And yeah, I know frame rate's bad. I'm still waiting for an OBS update to take advantage of the media engines. Supposedly that'll make it so I'm not rendering on the GPUs, which also then means I can leave the GPUs to actually do their job, which is to play the game. All right, so let's make sure these are set correctly here. Traffic manager. Let's go ahead and want to fix this. Boom. Straight through and right, straight through and right. Okay, that's going to need a little work here. That's going to probably need this one. So the game gets confused when you have even when you have split roads like this, it doesn't understand that one of them's to the right, one of them's to the left, or one of them's straight, one's to the left. So need just a little TLC here. And I'm probably going to need to do the same thing over here to the right, or to the left, because it's, yeah. Let's do this. I need to, okay, it's going to freak out here for a moment, so let's go ahead and do that. And we want those to do that. And I want that to do that, and those to do that. Which then gives us the option here to go straight, straight, and right to 2 lanes. Perfect. That should help. And then let's go ahead and get this one corrected too, because this is obviously having problems. Let's go left. This 2-lane section will probably need to be replaced by a 3-lane in the future. So we're going to do that. So I can do that. Alright, autosave kicking in there. Alright, so we're going to do that, and then we're not going to allow any sort of swaps here. Because basically by this point, whoever's on the road here should be able to make their decisions and be ready to go. And that one's going to go all 3 lanes. Also this way, this should keep people from making U-turns continuously, in theory. Alright, and that looks good. That looks good. I think that's good. Oh, we need one last one to correct here. So our left lane is going to go to our UE. Our right lane is not. And I think if I did this right, this section here, I can just do as straight through. There we go. Let's play. Let's see how well that goes. Let's make sure we didn't bork our yielding too, because that's going to be a big thing. Oh, still set to yield. Intersection. No go. Go. Perfect. Alright, we'll see how this behaves. Traffic still cutting in front of one another, but that's probably to be expected at this point. This is why I was saying we will probably, if not today, next stream, we will probably put in a rail yard to try to cut down the amount of traffic on the Michigan Expressway there. But let's go ahead and see here. Oh, hey, we got people complaining about things. What have we got? What is the complaint? Not enough skilled workers? Not enough workers. Okay. That makes sense. Our residential demand is near 0. We have a little bit of commercial demand, but not a whole lot. These are game studios and other sorts of offices. So let's go ahead and change those out. I'm going to change those with light commercial. No, let's not do that. We're going to change that to heavy commercial, dense commercial. I continually want to just use the old terms. Just when you use the same terms for 30 years and suddenly they change them on you because, well, to be fair, somebody got bought out and turned into a nothing studio, so. Somebody had to come and rescue us, and I'm glad it was Colossal Order / Paradox Interactive. I can never remember who's the developer and who's the publisher, so. Only thing I know for sure is that they came to the simulation community right when we needed them. And they were at least nice enough to make things multi-platform. Unlike some other companies we could mention. But we won't. Alright, let's go ahead and... a couple of games I did some beta testing for, and I was shocked that, like, the life's blood of the simulation world, which, to be fair, did start on, well, Apple IIs and Amigas, but was so often developed with the Mac first. that suddenly, oh no, we have no interest in doing that. I'm like, but the Mac people are the people who do this sort of thing. Yeah, we don't think we'll make enough money off it. Skeptical face. There's a big reason why Steam came to Mac OS as soon as Apple started using the Intel chips. And then thanks to Apple's forward thinking with their own silicon, Steam's staying, which I'm quite pleased about. In fact, I don't think I would be into some of the games I'm in if it wasn't for Steam coming to Mac, and as part of that, actually giving away things like I think it was Portal. Portal was a free game to Mac installs. So took my parents' iMac because I was still running an old PowerPC PowerBook at the time, and G4 PowerBook G4, and set up a Steam account and went from there. Okay. It doesn't like that for some reason. Probably because it's too high. Oh, let's go down one more. Hey, we can do it. Perfect. We're gonna use our freehand tool, which at least to me is nothing nothing like freehand. But some planners, some players swear by it. Others, like myself, I rarely use it. I usually get more use out of the curve tool. But so that little flash you're seeing, that is a weird symptom I run into in some cities. That has nothing to do with what machine it's on, what operating system, anything. There's just like these random connections that get built in the background. And as you delete things that are touching it, it flashes. It's an odd little quirk, and I don't know if it's game breaking, but we'll see. So there we go. We've got our nice little freeway here. We'll probably get our ramps done here in a moment. Actually getting 15 FPS while streaming. Normally this would be about 45 or 50, so as I said, I'm really champing at the bit for that update to OBS. All right. So we're just going to let it go here for a few minutes. What I am going to do is... Okay, fire looks good. I do need to do education. It's really complaining about education and trash, and I don't have enough money for trash. Do I have enough money for education? Knowing my luck, probably not. And no. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to take a short break, and let's see what happens over the next few minutes. Enjoy. And of course, the cinematic camera didn't kick in, but as we can see, the freeway is cleaned up a little bit. Our little Michigan Expressway is not nearly as clogged. Ooh, that is going much better than I expected, honestly. Um, except for this. I think it's using a antiquated right-hand rule here to default the traffic behavior. So let's see if we can rotate, 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 rotate. And let's go ahead and remind the traffic on the U-turn that they have to wait. Oh, they do. But let me guess, they're huh. That's interesting. All right, so that should make things a little happier. Get traffic moving here. And saving, 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 saving. And come on. Packaging and done. All right. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Let's see what we can figure out. What we need to do next. Traffic still all going towards the expressway. That's kind of why it's there. But we're also not giving anybody a secondary option, so that's going to be a thing here, I think. In fact, let's go ahead and do it. We're going to fill in this little section here of commercial, and we'll get the on-ramps going. And we'll see if we're in good shape to work on the rail yard. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to, what is our height here? We're going to be at, highway please. And yes, I do often build my ramps backwards, but that's just personal preference. Okay, so we're at -9. We're going to probably stay at -9. I'm going to be an open trench. Open trench, there we go. And we're going to go up to 6 here, right about there, I think. Perfect. Okay. And we can go ahead and let's go on this side of the support to 0. Perfect. Excellent. So let's go ahead and get those reversed. Perfect. And we're going to go back to normal. And let's see, do we want to put it at the apex? I don't think so. Let's think about real life. You don't normally put a section like that on an apex. force it to be an elevated roadway, and we're going to turn on anarchy. Because why not? There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to do something similar down through here. We're going to lower our ramp before we lower it all the way down. And reverse polarity. There we go. So there's one entry exit. And we're going to do the same thing here. So let's go ahead and grab free range on the ground. And let's start right here. So that one's only 6. So we will probably need to do some changes. So first thing we're going to do is give ourselves some extra room here before we kind of hug in close here. And we are going to need to do some things. Let's go ahead and go down to 9. There we go. And let's go ahead and take it off from here. And this one's going to be elevated like so. And let's see here, do we want to, let's go ahead and do that. Perfect. So we've got a nice little weave going here, so traffic will be happy and hopefully not interfering too badly. So we'll give it a few moments, see how things change. Oh, hey, look, we reached 10,000 people. Well, 9996. Close enough, I guess. All right, well, we're now in better shape. We've got our data center and solar power plant. So the data center is one of those interesting, for lack of a better term, interesting assets that I've got. So the CTNX data center actually produces electricity. And the idea seems to be that it's the theory, as you can see from the caption, is it's a power management system. Yet it produces power. So I can only assume it's able to take a lot of, in theory, it's taking a lot of draw from other things, like all of the different computer systems in the city, consolidating them in one place and then using them much more efficiently. Makes perfect sense in the real world. The code probably says something entirely different, but we at least have something to work with here. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out a bit. So traffic's going to be a little bit to get working here. My open space here for buildings is probably not going to happen. Just I don't see us filling in this space. In fact, I will probably end up turning it into an actual, honest-to-God modular park that the game has. So hopefully that will be fun, placate people, and reduce sound interference. One of the things people like to complain about, I find, is noise. Both in real life and in the game, because these people aren't stupid. They knew what they were doing. They know how people are. Which, you know what? I'm glad they did, because this is certainly one of the more entertaining games I have. I mean, I have a Minecraft server, and I go back and forth about every 6 months to before the pandemic, is every 6 months to a year between Skylines and Minecraft. Well, during the pandemic, all I was doing was playing Skylines because at least YouTube was keeping me entertained with other people's streams and ideas. Whereas Minecraft is such a more open world, so much more creative that it's hard for me to get into most of the streamers. I know that's blasphemy to some people, but I have to tell it like it is. For me, your mileage may and will vary quite a bit. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this little road network set up here. So we got 5 squares. So then 5 additionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And we're going to 1, 2. Here we are. All right, so now remember, I can build outside of the city. I have a handy dandy little plugin that let me do that. So where do I want to have my industrial yard? Do I want to have it behind this little grid, or do I want to have it in front of the little grid? Let's see here. What's the... I can never remember this, ever. I mean, I swear my brain is mush when it comes to remembering. I think it is... Yeah, it's right-hand side. Okay, so that's right. Yeah, it's right-hand side for the commercial. Or for the... And, of course, cargo train terminal, I need $60,000. Well, let's see what happens. See if I can get $60,000 here. I also am going to need to build the rail, so let's just not worry about that at the moment. I do have a couple of things we need to get going here, since we have some money and we have people complaining about things. Let's see. We do need some elementary. We do need an elementary school. So we have one up here. We have one down here, and I think we have one up here in the top right. So let's go ahead and put one down here. I'm going to put it on. In fact, yeah, let's do this. We're going to put this down on the freeway side. I know that's sacrilege to some people, but let's put that in right here. I'm going to turn off anarchy so I know which buildings are actually going to be. Okay, Control A. There we go. So I'll actually know what buildings are going to be destroyed. Perfect. Put it right there. Everyone's happy. And we're probably going to need to put one like up here in the middle, so I'm going to put one on this little side street here because there's no pedestrian path going through. If I put it on the other side here, we would have cut off the pedestrian path and had to go rebuild things. So this way it's like, no, we don't. So that should be good. That only cost us 15,000, I think. Let's go ahead and get into our trash management because that's another big boondoggle in this game. But when I say boondoggle, it's more just an annoyance. I mean, I'm used to just go zone a big place for trash and it all just gets thrown in there. This is much more ecologically sound, which is a good thing. Make sure we all take that into account. But when you're used to playing it one way and you've got to change your mindset to do it a different way, it can be a struggle. Ooh. They're not happy because they don't have any water. Let's get that all squared away for us here. 1, 2, oh, I can just do this. Well, I got to do this and the other ones. Let's do this one first. Come on. Saving. Auto save. Do. Packaging. Done. Perfect. Let's get that connected. Oh, not enough money. Yep. Our handy dandy little trash places just ate up all of our funds. Not surprising. in the slightest. Oh, and we've got a massive residential demand, of course, because why not? Oh yes, because we can actually do things now. Good. So let's go ahead and do a few things here. We're gonna expand our usefulness here and in through here. And let's start encroaching a little bit on that. Perfect. All right, so we're down to 1,200 simoleons, 1177. So let's see what we can accomplish with that. We're going to go ahead and do some zoning down through here. A lot of it's going to be commercial. One of the things that a lot of people don't think about is there are two primary reasons for trading: to sell stuff and to buy stuff. Some of that stuff you buy, it's for selling. Some of it's for making more things. So you have to kind of balance those out. And since we already have kind of an industrial area set aside, and I'll probably take part of this and give it some more, whatever that resource, what is that resource? Is that a resource? Let's start there. Is that a resource? That is oil. I think that's oil. Yeah, it's oil underneath the trees. Torn if I want to even deal with that. I may just use forestry. But we can put some industrial stuff in here to make more goods and make them so they don't have to travel nearly as far, but we'll see. All right. Now, one of the things we will need for our rail line is we do need a one-way road. And that's one of those big things people don't think about. Is the cargo system is complex. And in fact, I'm going to use an industrial one-way road just because I don't want to have to deal with crazy things. And let's see, is that far enough? Okay, perfect. Now, you notice this is not the same sort of setup we did before. And in fact, the end here is going to be very different. But let's get that perfect. All right, so we're ready to go there. And it looks like we are without water. I'm surprised they're not complaining they're without power too, but sometimes it takes a while. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up our new zoning structure there. Okay, perfect. I swear power lines are pretty cheap, so let's go ahead and get those going here. Need $500 and we have 100, so be just a moment. 256. There we go. Click. We now have power. So give that a moment. Start seeing how people behave. Traffic changes. And yes, I notice we're almost out of energy production, but we've got to get some money ahead first. Let's see what we can do here. I do want... Gonna put some offices in through here because I will have some office demand here in a few moments. Let's get our high density residential built like so. Oh, hey, I think I got a spot. Oh, I don't have a spot. I has a spot. Let's go ahead and take this out. Place that with some high density. It's the same on this corner all the way up to the opening for the path. Connect. There we go. And yes, I know there's probably some cross connects I need to put in here, but I haven't done that yet. Partially because I've got to get some more buses going, and eventually I hope to have enough money to actually start working on a subway system. But right now, traffic is much better. The Michigan left is working as intended. Our average traffic capacity is at 80%, so we're not too bad there, not too shabby. We do still have people cutting in front of others, and I don't understand why, but sometimes people are incorrigible. Okay, so those are correct, and those are correct. So let's clear them and re-add them. Perfect. Well, looks like our buses are doing halfway decently. Let's go check on their status. We have how many lines? Looks like we've got 4 lines, if I'm not mistaken. 4 lines. Whew. Well, hey, that's fun. Why is that line not running? Is it that it's budget control? Why is budget control not working here by default? There we go. Budget control. How many? Okay. That might have been my problem before, is I may have had to add vehicles manually. I don't know why I would have done that, but let's see. Is there an option in one of these settings for budget or for prop line tool, extra landscaping tools, engineering, network multi-tool. Here we go. Nope. Requires me to build, follow terrain. Okay. There we go. All right. And public transport. That all looks good. So that's not it. Extended game options. Metro tunnels without a metro station. Unlock everything up to the following milestone. Don't want to do that. Initial money, don't worry about that because we didn't change anything. Patch loader mod, FPS mod, list Steam, improved transportation system. There we go. Budget control. Why is that off? Update. You can imagine, right? All right. Well, let's go find out what's up now. Now we'll let the buses catch up, and hopefully we've got some decent ones. In the meantime, we've got $4,900. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Give it a few minutes, and hopefully we'll have some more. Just a moment. Oh, hey, look. Karens are complaining about noise. Why am I not surprised? Let's see if we can get that squared away here. Highway. Three lane with sound barriers. There we go. Upgrade. One of the things that is supposed to help is, so office buildings or office zoning does seem to knock down noise, especially from things like metro stations. I'm not sure how well it works from freeways like this, but we'll certainly find out. How is our city's health? I have one healthcare clinic. I guess I'm going to need to fix that. Those are 10 grand too. All right, so we're just going to have to wing it then for now. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause. What do we have for our economy options? Hey, we can take out a loan. We've already got a loan. We got 174 weeks left on it. We've got 200 grand on this one. Let's take. We kind of need that income. Let's see here. If we pay that off, there we go. Perfect. We only just have the one loan now. Basically, I combined them. So we should have a decent amount of money here in a second as soon as I hit unpause. There we go, $165,000. How much is it going to cost for us to run a train line from over here to over there? Let's see, from about here to there. Just 10 grand. Okay, that's good to know. What about a bridge? And we want to make it at least 24. Bridge. 40 grand. Okay, I think we can do that. We're going to make it 24 high. We're going to encroach a little bit on the land here, so let's go ahead and elevate it. Perfect. To the beach. Bridge. Straight across. Actually, bridge. $51 grand. Perfect. So we're going to run it to there. Okay. Let's go ahead and make our turn here. Make a descent. And I'm going to run it off to 150. Drop it down to 12. And perfect. Okay, we're going to put our viaduct in here. Same issue. Let's do this and do that. Excellent. And we're going to just check on this. Okay, it is perfectly wide. That's Y hyphen ED. Although I think technically it's WYEED, but whatever. Okay, we're going to start with this cargo terminal a little further back here. Because the idea is we want to make a nice gradual turn from here to here. Okay, so that intersection is going to need to move. So actually, let's move that in a bit. Excellent. Now my cash reserves are going to drop back down to nil. 20 grand. That's actually better than we were. And we should see some major growth here, at least in terms of traffic. It'll probably get a little too much here after a few minutes, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and close all of our construction stuff. All right, so we've got our little train depot built. It needs water. Water. All right, so we'll get that going. Get some zones set up here, hopefully that don't cause too many issues. There we go. Don't want to zone anything next to the depot because that will inherently cause problems. And now we wait. However, it has been about 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes. So we're probably going to need to call it a day here. I do need to make one adjustment here. I need to not let truck traffic pass this point. Traffic restrictions. No. I don't know if it's my mice or if it's Unity, but sometimes I just click and nothing happens. Let's get close. Ooh. And we don't want trucks. Trucks are banned. There we go. That'll help a bit, I hope. But we'll go ahead and we'll call this a game. Till next time, which, looking at my schedule in my head, probably Tuesday or Wednesday evening. And we'll play some more and see what we can find out. As always, play well, play nice, have fun. And to steal from Red Green tonight, keep your stick on the ice.